does the perfect girl look like to you? Let's take a moment and just think to ourselves what that might be. So let's say nice and tall, close to 6 foot and a little over 100 pounds. Although the perfect image of a woman might have changed a little over the last 60 years, I'd say that every woman strives to be taller and skinnier at some point in their life. So that measures up to 5'9" and 110 pounds, which is the dimensions of the beloved and iconic, you guessed it, Barbie doll, giving girls false hope of body image since 1959. New York Daily News said that Barbie as a real woman is anatomically impossible, and to get around she would have to walk on all fours. As a little girl, Barbie was my go-to toy. I had suitcases of Barbies, I had the Barbie dream house, the Barbie cars, Malibu Barbie, the holiday Barbies. Anytime a new Barbie came out, I had to get my hands on it. But I was just unaware of how popular the toy was and just how quickly it became successful. And I was also completely oblivious to how it changed girls' image on their body. As a little girl, I don't think that I had any thoughts about that, but it seems to be quite the problem once Barbie was introduced. There was a lot of criticism over how it was giving girls false hope at such a young age. So today I'll be telling you about the history of Barbie, how the style and look of Barbie has changed over the years, her overwhelming success, and just how Barbie can relate to real life. So where it all began. Barbie was invented in 1959 by a woman named Ruth Handler, who later would be the co-founder of Mattel with her husband Elliot. According to Mattel.com, Ruth's original vision was sparked after watching her daughter play with paper dolls hours and hours on end. She thought maybe she could make it a little bit more exciting, and that's where the idea of Barbie came about. The first doll was named after her daughter, who was named Barbara, and was intended to serve as a teenage fashion doll. And before long, Barbie made her debut at New York Toy Fair, and then Barbie began to soon take over the nation, making its way into little girls' playrooms all across the world. Barbie quickly became successful in that first year alone. They sold 351,000 Barbies. And the original price tag on a Barbie was just $3. As Barbie took off, so did the roles and styles she had. Barbie first appeared in the now famous black and white striped swimming suit and signature ponytail. Here's a look at the very first Barbie that Ruth Handler invented. She of course has the long blonde hair placed in a ponytail, the red lipstick, earrings, the iconic black and white striped swimming suit, always wearing heels, and she was even carrying sunglasses. Shortly after, about 2 years later, they introduced Barbie's boyfriend, Ken. Here's a look at the vintage Ken. To this day, it's changed quite a bit. There's many male Barbies on the market, but Ken himself has changed quite a bit, just like Barbie has. There's even stories in the news that Barbie and Ken were married and children divorced. There's just a whole storyline on the whole thing. And from there, Barbie's style took off and they began introducing new Barbies, such as the Malibu Barbie, the first African-American Barbie doll, and collectible Barbies such as the Holiday Barbie. Even introducing career Barbies shortly after. They started introducing them as a registered nurse, a baby doctor, a firefighter, a pilot, a director, a scientist, and in 2016 they even introduced the President Barbie. So as you can see, Barbie was known worldwide for her flawless body and made millions of dollars whether the body image was agreed upon or not. Still to this day, Barbie is successful among little girls 60 years after her invention. Actually, I have 2 daughters and they are still very much involved in Barbies. Although the look of the Barbie has changed quite a bit, we still spend lots of money on Barbies. So it has not slowed down much after 60 years. Mattel and Handler's idea of this doll changed the ideal look for everyday women, and unfortunately it has not always been positive. More than 1 billion Barbie dolls have been sold since 1959. Critics argue that his unrealistically slim body is bad role model for girls. The Barbie's name is worth more than $2 billion a year. In gross sales of the Barbie fashion dolls and accessories in 2016 was $972 million. They say that the average U.S. preteen has more than 10 Barbie dolls in their household. So even though the impact of Barbie has not always been positive, they are trying to come out with Barbies that more realistically show what women look like today. It's been in the news that they're making larger Barbie dolls so that girls aren't, getting false hope at such a young age. But just remember, if Barbie was a real person, she'd have to walk on all fours. She wouldn't have room for all of her organs inside of her abdomen, and she would be incapable of even lifting her own head, which sounds like a pretty miserable life to me. I think I'll stick with my frame instead. According to the measurements stacked up against an average woman by dailymail.com, they say that no one would ever actually want to have the dimensions of Barbie. Well, thanks for listening.